I'm Cole Smith.
I'm Ryan Krause.
And we're paranormal investigators.
And this is Nights of the Dark. We are paranormal investigators researching stories throughout Saskatchewan.
You'll see exactly what we see. No sound effects, no scary music, and no video effects. One of the more fascinating stories, legends, if you will, in Canada is the Moosehead Inn in Kenosee Lake, rumored to be one of Canada's most haunted locations. It's been on TV shows, magazines, radio, just about anything else you could think of. Its reputation is larger than life or death, and we couldn't wait to get in, and the owner couldn't wait to talk to us either. So set up what exactly is going on here.
We start off with a big interview with the owner, and he had lots to say.
Yeah, and he's quite an interview, so we'll shut up right now and let it get on with it. I'm here with Dale, the owner of the Moosehead Inn. Thank you so much for having us and allowing. This is probably a world-famous haunting area. You know, you get people from all over to come here.
Everywhere. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. So Dale regaled us with some stories earlier, and I said, no, stop, save some for the camera, because I didn't want him to get bored and have to say them again. But they're such fascinating stories. I guess you don't have a problem retelling them.
No.
Yeah. So give us a quick synopsis of the Moosehead Inn, and then we'll go into some detail. When did it originate, and when did the anomalies begin?
Well, basically, the building started the business started in the late 70s. It was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Grandison, and originally it was a dance hall. So every weekend they had kids' dances upstairs, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the summers. And the downstairs part in the restaurant was an old pinball place.
Oh, so like a little arcade down here?
A little arcade, come in and play some games. And they ran it for about 10 years. And in the early 80s, it was bought and transferred into the Moosehead Inn, into a restaurant and nightclub.
So, okay.
And they ran for 10 years, and then I bought it.
Well, look how vintage this looks. Yeah. Not that, if you said it was 100 years old, I'd believe you, you know? So
they did a fantastic job when they renovated, and we haven't done a thing.
Really? It was like this?
That's the way we bought it, and it's been, what can you change? It's got such character.
Now, an interesting tie-in was when we went to, and you can help me out with the name of the church.
The Beck of Art?
Yes, right, okay. We heard a story about that church, and we also heard a story about the hall that was next to it. And then we heard that it was transferred here, and that there was some anomalies associated with that. So we drove around Kenosee looking for that place, and found out.
It's right above us.
Right above us. It's hiding in plain sight. Okay, so now the anomalies, the hauntings, the things that you hear.
Well, after we bought it, we did some renovations upstairs, just changed the bars, and brand new, relocated the bars, built everything brand new, and of course, when we built new bars, we put the new stock in, and that was before we opened for the season, and things started missing. We looked, and till tape, just normal bar supplies, missing. And we looked everywhere, couldn't find it. And a few weeks later, my mom and dad were here. Dad looked and said, "This is what's missing?" And everything's exactly where it should be. Wow. Every piece was back.
So you had things taken, missing, rearranged,
put back.
Put back. And now, could someone have broken in?
I lived upstairs, so it's unlikely because you can hear everything. But I thought maybe someone had keys from the last owners.
Right.
Maybe staff had old keys, so we changed the locks. Actually, we changed them twice in the first 2 months.
So you changed the locks, so that's now not a suspect.
No.
Yeah, we can eliminate that
Changed
as a
the locks,
suspect.
and things still went missing. And so we changed them again. That's what, after we had staff. So I thought maybe my whole keys went missing. And then one day one of the bartenders said, there's your keys. They're sitting right here on the table.
So,
After I had a new set made.
Now, before this, did you hear any stories?
Just
Were you expecting this?
No, not at all. And then when things started to happen, we asked the old owners and old staff, and they just said, "Oh, they're just Moosehead mysteries." So there was. They just said, "Oh yeah, that's a Moosehead mystery."
So it followed the new owners.
Yeah, but we didn't know when we bought it. But there's a few things before we bought it.
Or the original, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it followed the original owners or originated there. Okay, and then, so now you're a little weirded out, freaked out, there's a mystery. So what happened next?
And you'd hear a little bit of noises, like nothing too major, kind of wonder what's going on. And then in the winter of the first year we opened, we had to change out the carpets in the bar.
So you've got 3 levels to this place.
So on the second level in the cabaret area. So I think in late January we closed one night, so let's tear out the carpets.
Now, is that the hall? Is that the old hall?
That's the old hall.
Okay,
yes.
so you're tearing out the carpets,
in
the old haunted hall.
And so after we closed on a Saturday night, a few people stayed around, ripped out the carpets for us for a few hours, and then we went upstairs to bed. And maybe a half hour later, just loud crash, bang, smashing, like thought someone broke in. So Jeff, my old manager, and I come downstairs with our baseball bats and look around and nothing.
Okay, so why'd you have a baseball bat?
Just in case someone broke in. We're looking,
okay.
If there's burglars or somebody coming back in, we're gonna protect ourselves.
Yeah, okay, right? so you're prepared for everything.
Everything.
Right? Okay, yeah.
So we go back upstairs, lay down again, starts over. And loud crash banging. So we go down and check again. Nothing. We go upstairs, do that 2 or 3 times first night. And it took about a week to change out the carpets. And every night, around 4 or 5 in the morning, the loud banging would start. And we go down and look, and nothing there. And
so
we checked outside.
Would you say the banging originated down here?
No, in the bar.
Oh, in the bar.
It's below the lower, and you'd be sound asleep, and then just bang.
Where you were working, it originated.
You could hear from down below. You could feel it. You could feel the building shaky, like boom. So someone's. And sometimes you'd be scared to come down, so you'd be up there maybe half hour, an hour. You hear the bang and banging, and if it's a burglar, it's a stupid one because it's taking them an hour to get in, right? And if bang and bang and bang, we go down, look, nothing there. And every night we went on for weeks, months.
That's wild.
So we got scared and moved out for a while, for quite a time. But it'd be as loud as the pool table being picked up and dropped. We had, of course, a lot of nights we thought it was a burglar, so we'd phone the police.
Okay, so you've got
the police were involved, So and it was the winter time, so you could check in the snow, and there wasn't a footprint in the snow.
Did they ever experience anything, or were they always called? Sort of by the time they arrived, everything was.
They got here and they'd say, "Well, it's the building shifting," or they didn't know because they didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And then, so I got scared. So I eventually put a motion sensor in the bar.
Okay.
To a alarm up in the bedroom, and a videotape playing.
Oh, this is good. Okay, so
and
yeah.
One night, the alarm went off, and she phoned the police. If someone's in the building.
Right.
And you could hear the banging for quite a while. So, phoned the police. They came out, checked the whole building. Nothing here. So they checked it out, and then later we played back the tape, and we actually caught it on tape. The loud banging sounds.
Oh, you caught the banging sounds on tape.
And that was before we thought maybe it was paranormal. We just thought we caught the banging sounds, but it was like an energy bang, like a bubbles exploding or some kind of, was like a hammer hitting something. It was just energy bangs.
Okay, like a release of energy, like a wind.
Kind of. It was like a knock, but it was like boom, boom. More like a sound more than a hammer, than a pinpointing it.
Okay. Okay.
And it was strange. So
Something.
strange. And one night, same thing. Hear the banging downstairs for quite a while. And so I thought, this one for sure is a burglar. So I
Like it was too obvious.
It sounded. So I got on the phone. I phoned myself on or 2 lines. Let the phone ring 4 times, and I hung up.
So you could record it.
Yeah. Well, I phoned. I tried to scare it. I thought it was a burglar.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to phone them.
I got you.
Taking someone downstairs, phone the building, maybe scare them out. And so I phoned, and at the time the phone came from the office back into our apartment, so it didn't have a long cord. And so I phoned downstairs, let it ring 4 times, and then I opened up the pages for the police. I got the RCP, and then the pages in the phone book is all pages blew down. And it used a gush of energy when blew the phone book. So I phoned the police. They came out, checked the whole building. Nothing. As soon as the police left, I went and lay down. My phone rang back 4 times and hung up.
Oh man. Oh man.
And that was. The phone never rings at 4 or 5 in the morning, right? And it did the exact same 4 rings that I called earlier.
Wow.
And it just got so scary. Like, it was just, there's nothing there. And then when we had,
I can only imagine what was going through your
basically when we
mind.
had the carpets tore out, that at the same time there was an article in the Leader Post about a Ghostbuster from Winnipeg. And so my ex-girlfriend and manager, they read that. They phoned him up in Winnipeg and said, this is what we're feeling, this is what we're hearing. Could it be paranormal? And he said, sounds like it. He goes, just do some prayers and tell it to go away, and maybe it will. And so they didn't do anything after that. We kind of just whatever. And then it was a few months later, CBC phoned us, and they brought the Ghostbuster down from Winnipeg, and they did an investigation for 2 or 3 days. And they went around, checked all the. They're trying to disprove anything.
Right.
And when they left, he said it was one of the most haunted places he's ever been to.
Wow. And this is why now, if you query it on Google, just Kenosee, and you'll see it. The Moosehead Inn comes up.
Yeah.
It's one of the most haunted places in Canada. You'll see it. What book is it in? It's in Haunted Saskatchewan.
First came out in Haunted America.
Oh, it did.
All the hauntings in the United States, plus 2 or 3 in Canada.
Oh, that's a
So
huge
that was
book.
The first one, Haunted America, and then it was in Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan, and there's 2 or 3 other books that have picked up the story.
Yeah, absolutely, and lots of news
And
reports.
lots of news.
Yeah, and
American news, Canadian news, national news.
and I'm so, I'm honored that you allowed us to come here and appear in our show. We don't try to disprove or prove. We just try to see if there's something, what we can find. Sometimes we find energy anomalies in the middle of nowhere, where there shouldn't be a reading. Middle of a cemetery where there's absolutely no power lines, no grid, and you can see there's measurable energy. When you get that, you kind of go, okay, there's something. What that is, I don't know. So, that's one thing, if you don't mind, we'd like to just kind of walk around and see what we can find. And
build any shares.
Oh, excellent. Now, anything else you want to tell us with the, I'll tell you what, if someone wants to come here.
I'll tell you something's in the bar. People say you're full of crap, and all I do is explain what happened. And then by the time we're done, they say, how can you live here? Like, they're frightened to live here. But there's lots of times in the bar, we're staying late, and then the big doors, boom, boom, start kicking open. Like, and they're locked, they're still like fire doors. And bang, 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 all the doors will kick open at the same time. And at nighttime, they keep it in here. We shut the lights off, leave, and you just get walking away, and the lights are back on.
Oh, wow.
Lots of times. Or come in here, and one night, the lobster trap. Girl was vacuuming, the trap fell down and just kept swinging and swinging and swinging. It wouldn't stop. Or you come in the door, it would start swinging. So it's just little things. And it's other staff telling you the story, so you got to take that with a grain of salt too. But it's just so many little things that adds up to be something big.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
And each one by itself is nothing. But when you
Right.
put them all together, you know, it seems to be a lot.
Yeah, and you know, and it also makes you aware of things that maybe you wouldn't be, because, you know, when we were setting up just outside, we mentioned to you earlier, we said we were just setting up outside and we heard this big bang, you know, and it startled us because we didn't expect a bang, but it came from like the door, and we looked at each other like, oh, they're starting early,
Yeah.
because we knew the reported hauntings. Chances are we wouldn't have thought much of it, but it still startled us nonetheless.
Exactly.
But when you just said the doors bust open, that's where it came from. So,
So there's,
are
yeah.
we adding things to it that could have been
You
explained?
never know. Like, it could be.
Yeah,
But the things I've experienced is
but there's that's way too
you know,
coincidental.
just things that happen. I try to erase all the little things, and the big ones, like they're more weird than scary.
Yeah, I mean, I've got an old 100-year-old house, and the people that have seen this show know it's one of Ryan's. He's terrified of my house. It's and it settles in but only in the winter, middle of winter. But you'll hear one bang, maybe you know, one, and you know, and it's always pretty much in the same place. You know, it still scares you, but you know, you're not going to hear a repeated bang like
it'd
you're
be like
explaining.
well,
That's-
half hour, an hour. Sometimes we just lay there. And when I first bought it, I put in a baby monitor from downstairs. Up
Oh
in the
yeah, yeah,
apartment.
right. So,
And the odd time you wake up 3 or 4 in the morning, and it would sound like someone's got a carpentry shop in the kitchen. Hear the banging, the hammering, like knocking. Like,
man.
I was too scared to come down and check, but there's nothing here. It could just all of a sudden, boom, bang, 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 like somebody's woodworker. Yeah.
So it's a handy ghost too, eh? It's like
And we've had-
like a maitre d'.
Like the till
Concierge.
We have a glass we keep the till receipts, and one night that flew right out and smashed on the floor. The girls were talking, and the glass flew out. You know, and the odd time people ask about the ghost, and the salad bar tongs will fly out and land on the floor. You know.
Unbelievable. So if people want to experience this for themselves, you're open until New Year's?
New Year's Eve, yes.
Okay, and you're at Kenosee Lake.
Yeah.
So if they're coming down from Whitewood or the States on Highway 9,
Right.
just hang left or right, depending which way you're going, and you can't miss it. It's beautiful here.
it's beautiful.
You can see the lake. It's just fantastic. I've never been here. I've driven by a lot.
And the water slide
And-
park across the road.
Oh,
you know, it's busy in
absolutely.
the summer. It's
There's Cannington Manor.
Yeah.
How far? The casino's not that far from
5
here.
minutes to the casino. And
Amazing.
Two great golf courses.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
it's a beautiful place.
Yeah. This is Kenosee is fantastic, and the Moosehead is definitely a place to check out. So hopefully we can get a staff or two to tell us a little story.
We can try.
Okay. I think they'll be game. Okay. Well, thanks so much,
Well,
and
good luck.
we'll share the results of what we find.
Good luck.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
All right, so we're here with,
Kelsey Tar.
she's one of the waitresses here. And what have you experienced in this place?
My first couple years working here, there was a little kid sitting out in one of the tables, and she turned to her mom and said, "Mom, who's that guy sitting over there?" And actually, just a couple of years ago, there's another kid that was asking, actually in these bar stools, "Who's that man spinning around the stools up front?" And it's just odd things like being behind the bar, being poked, or your name being whispered, or
You poked?
yeah, they'll poke you,
Well,
or you think somebody's yelling for your name behind in the staff room, and then there's nobody actually there, or nobody's talking to you. Or one time I was on the other side, and you can see through the bus window, and I saw a white shirt, so I thought somebody was there to get the phone, and nobody was actually there when I came around. Upstairs, I was, just before my shift, I was in the bathroom, and I heard a toilet paper roll go, being pulled, as if somebody was pulling toilet paper, but nobody was in there, because I was the only one setting up, and I looked in the stall, and the toilet paper was empty.
wow.
Um,
You've never felt uncomfortable or just...
When I
what-
first
what-
started here,
yeah.
I wouldn't go in some of the rooms by myself and stuff. Now it's just, we just say, "Oh, that's the ghost." I find that most of the time it's in September that things happen because it slows down and everything. Some of the waitresses have seen tongs come slowly out of the dressings and fall on the floor.
Wow.
Some of the waitresses have actually seen the ghost walk by just in the corner of their eye.
So it's like more day, more night, or just random?
More before our shift opens, around 3, 4 o'clock.
Oh, while you're serving people, have customers and people experience things, or?
Some customers I've actually seen the tongs move.
Oh yeah, right.
Not many actually. It doesn't happen a lot when there's a lot of people here,
No.
or you don't notice it, I guess.
All right, enough of this yapping. On to the investigation. So set this up for us, would you, Ryan?
Well, we do an EVP in the storage room. We do an EVP upstairs in the women's washroom, which was also the hall at the Caspar Church in Kipling. Well, without further ado, enjoy the show.
And stay tuned for the results.
Yes.
There's a million stories in this place, and I wish I had more time to show you them all, because we've just been regaled with tale upon tale. This apparently was the site of a seance, and all of the, well, we'll call them psychics if you want, we can call them sensitives, pointed to this room as the focal point for the energies. We talked to some of the staff and of course the owner, Dale, and he said that, that this place right in here is sort of notorious for strange happenings. And, oh, look, a bent spoon. Yuri Geller was here. Well, I can tell you right now that...
No reading at all.
I can tell you right now that hand kind of creeps me. Good old Santa there.
He's unarmed. Well, 2.11.
Oh, okay, that's a...
And
That's a big spike.
Went from there to nothing. It's sitting at zero. It's really odd.
You know what's interesting too is if you look at the cement, there's not much cracking, which means that you know, settling doesn't look like it's the biggest issue here. The bar is the bar. You know, it's not like there's anything creepy here. This is so like my element. I love being in bars. There's nothing weird like the church we were just in. That's creepy. You expect something, but here. Okay, so this. Do you notice any difference?
I haven't had any spikes. Just at the entrance. We were at your church earlier.
Check the ladies' washroom.
Oh, is that where they?
Down the hall by the mirror.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, you might get lucky with a ghost tonight, if anything. And this is the original floor? Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh. Are you in here? Do you want to show yourself? Are you standing at the door? Are you here beside me?
Well, let's see what Ryan's up to here at the...
Sitting at 4735. Sitting at 4-7 right now.
Really?
So I've been asking if they're right beside me.
Okay, let's just quickly put our stuff together here and let's do an EVP session.
We start off with some orbs. Shall I play?
Absolutely, let her roll.
Yeah, some beautiful orbs.
Yeah, so you can look up there on the screen, follow the O, and down it goes. And this was in the washroom, which is...
Yes, the ladies' washroom.
What was the report on the ladies' washroom then?
That they see a woman or a girl or something, which is also from the Caspar Hall.
Okay, now what are we seeing?
This
here?
one's the slow motion of the same one.
Same thing, so you can just watch it unencumbered with the elongated O. And once again, that camera was not, nobody was in the room, we just left it. What was that?
That's what sounds like a little girl saying "daddy." That's I don't know what it says to you, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, what are we going to see in this next one?
And here we see more orbs. I was really amazed of the how slow these ones were compared to what we normally catch.
Yeah, and it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
You know?
it was like casually coming out of the wall and slowly moving up.
Yeah, and dust particles, that's a whole other, I know some people will say that that's what it is, but they behave in, I just wonder why we only catch one or two. Here we catch one in between us. See there?
Yeah, it flies right in front of me. And this is why we're collecting our gear at the end of the EVP session.
And here it is unencumbered. Just follow it slow motion.
And this last bit was kind of a cool treat to see two slow-moving orbs,
And
both up on the top.
These are up in the top then.
Yeah.
You gotta watch careful.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Well, one of Canada's most famously haunted places. And so if you're looking for spirits, the Moosehead Inn, I recommend the Jack Daniels.